Welcome back to another episode of Simple Chat. I'm your host, CEO and founder of Simple Lending Financial, Janine Krasnov, and today I have a very special and personal guest on Simple Chat, my boyfriend, Jamie. Jamie, thank you for being on Simple Chat.
Thank you for having me. Longtime viewer of Simple Chat, so super flattered to get to sit here and be with you.
Thank you. And do you mind introducing yourself and what you do for work to our audience?
Sure. I'm the CEO of Apex Leadership Company. Apex is a franchisor with franchisees in every city that put on fun runs at elementary schools. We go into schools, we teach kids about fitness and leadership, and then we host a big event. Typically, that's a fun run, and usually we'll raise about a school $50,000 per school, and we're on a mission to serve more and more schools.
Wow. And you guys are nationwide?
Mm-hmm.
How many franchisees do you guys have?
We have approximately 100 franchisees.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. And as you know, Simple Chat has an audience of entrepreneurs kind of like me looking for advice. Can you kind of share on your journey how you got started?
Sure. So I spent the first 10 years of my career in private equity and really enjoyed that and had some success in that, and was invited for the opportunity to hang a shingle and start my own private equity firm. And when I was doing that, I didn't want to start a traditional private equity firm, but rather not a portfolio of businesses, just one business and grow the heck out of that business. And so I recruited several investors, really a cohort of investors who were all other CEOs. And we compiled our money together and we tried to find a business, the best business that we could find. And really that meant one that was serving customers really, really well, that had the opportunity to serve a lot more customers. And we think we found it with Apex Leadership Co. So we bought that company 3.5 years ago, and I've been the CEO for the last several years.
Awesome. I love that story. Very cool. Do you mind sharing your why? Because, as an entrepreneur and navigating the space and you come across a lot of obstacles and challenges, like why? Like what is your motivation that keeps you going each day?
Well, when it comes to from a professional standpoint, I don't get super motivated by money, and maybe many of the other, ways that people end up getting motivated. My why is I want to make an impact. I want to be able to make an impact. And so Apex is making a great impact in the world today. My role at the company, I think, can help Apex. And as I continue to help Apex or wherever else I go on my journey, I just want to continue to be able to make an impact.
Very cool. Love that. And, coming from the private equity space and then navigating as a person in operations, like how did you find that transition?
That is a very challenging transition. I think to go from operator to investor, that feels more natural. To go from investor to operator, I think requires a lot of leveling up, and particularly around leadership and management. Anybody who buys a company, it feels like it's first do, then manage, then lead. And so each of those skills need to be acquired. And so a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but really a lot of reading. I know you're a big reader.
Yeah.
And you've been a big motivation for me to read. But it's a lot of reading and a lot of interviewing and really just honing of the craft.
Yeah, and that actually leads us perfectly into my next question, which is if you have any books that you recommend the audience or any mentors that you personally have that you'd like to highlight as well.
There is an investor of mine who's a very famous private equity investor. His name is Will Thorndike, and he's one of the more well-respected private equity investors in the country. And I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to partner with him. And he wrote a book, which was a huge motivation for me taking the leap into the CEO role, called The Outsiders. And it's about 7 of the best CEOs ever. And it's very scientifically defined for what that is. And it breaks down those 7 phenomenal CEOs into what they do well, which is 2 things. And one is operations. That means finding people, managing them, and leading them to success. And the other is capital allocation, meaning how do you spend your resources? And that framework was a wonderful beginning for me to figure out how to manage my time in the CEO role. So that was a wonderful book, and he's become a wonderful partner, and I highly recommend it to anybody.
Awesome. What is next for Apex?
So Apex has been growing very rapidly. It's been fun to see that growth, and we're passionate about the business because we feel as though we make a big contribution to schools, communities, and franchisees. And so we're on a mission to put Apex in every corner of the country. And we believe that will happen. And so Apex will continue to grow. And we think over the next several years, it will become a household name. And we want to be great stewards of the company and guide the company in that direction. And so we make our plans and our budgets and our really everything around guiding Apex to that vision and that reality.
Very cool. And do you have any, giving you a curveball here, do you have any mantras you guys hold within Apex?
We don't call them mantras, but every year we sit down as a team and we decide what our theme will be for that year. And for example, this year, last year we were Apex Power, and the year before we were Apex Factor, and each of those
Apex
Future this year, and Apex Level Up next year. Right. And each of those years have several words. For example, in Power, the P was for proactive, and the O was for optimistic, and the W was for work it out. And those lessons we teach to the kids, but we also internally try to embody those lessons. So we don't call them mantras, we call them lessons, but they're great for the kids and they're great for us as well.
Awesome. And is there any last piece of advice you'd leave our audience with? What is your biggest key to success?
Well, I see it with you and Simple Lending, and I dream of embodying this just at least a little bit. And I see it with all successful people in one way or another. And that is just believing in yourself, ultimately. I see folks who kind of have dreams, and I think those folks who are not there yet can actualize those dreams if they just believe in themselves. They take the risk, they invest in themselves, they give it a crack. And I would just say anybody who wants to do something, if you believe in yourself and you take the risk, you will achieve that thing. So be careful for what you wish for.
For sure. And be ready for my book, She Thinks, She Believes, She Acts, and She Receives, because that'll be a perfect handbook for any entrepreneur looking to really take, action behind your beliefs. Thank you for being on Simple Chat. He was just planning to work from my office today, but he got pulled into a quick Simple Chat. So thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And where can people find you if they want to kind of reach out and know more about Apex?
So you go to our website, apexleadershipco.com, and fill out a lead form. I'm also active on LinkedIn, and you can just message me if you're interested. But either way, it'll land on my desk.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Simple Chat.